14 of their last 16, and they're headed home. And the Clippers out of network.
Well, that wasn't fun. Chicago just tied a franchise high, hitting 25 three-pointers. 25 of 47. Maybe the Clippers were just due for a hot shooting night from the opponent, considering the last 15 games, opponents were shooting a league worst against the Clippers, 31% from three. Law of averages, it happens. Clippers also looked tired, gassed, and weren't good enough.
Sight sounds and styles in person. Ticketmaster's got you covered as the official ticket.
It happens, but they're 19-24 now.
Ticketmaster has tickets available to every.
That three-point shooting was insane. That's open gym three-point shooting from Chicago. Kobe White hit 4 straight in the fourth quarter. Are you kidding me?
Rattles the rim and shakes the arena. That buzzer beater.
The Bulls just tied a franchise high 25 made threes.
Make you do a double take. So
disgusting.
Jersey, grab your crew,
happens.
Your tickets at Ticketmaster today because nothing beats being able to.
It's the second most three-pointers hit against the Clippers, tying the New Orleans Pelicans, of course, who hit 25 against them in 2020 in the bubble.
My perfect day as Sansol.
The only time a team hit more three-pointers against the Clippers was Sacramento in that 176-175 double overtime loss by the Clippers at home in 2023. They hit 26 threes.
Adults who are candidates for systemic or people saw 90%.
Ridiculous.
And many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
I know.
It was a 6-point game with 5:30 left in the third quarter. My God. And no, to this comment that just said we had a 6-point game and then Coach Lou made a bunch of changes. No, he didn't. They got it up to 10. Then he made the changes. Inaccurate. It was only a 6-point game for a second.
The game is done.
Wrap this one up.
Now the reaction.
Well, the running of the Bulls, they ran the Clippers out of the gym in the second half of this one. After leading by 21 in the first half, the Clippers had it down to a 6-point lead midway through the third quarter, just for Chicago to continue their hot shooting where they tied a franchise high 25 made three-pointers at United Center, and the Clippers go on to lose 138-110 to Chicago. Let's bring back in your radio voice of the Clippers. Carlo, just an incredible shooting game from the Bulls. Give them credit. Also, just looked like the Clippers were a little bit gassed out there. Didn't have enough from their main guys, James Harden and Ivica Zubac also.
Yeah, they were tired. I mean, this is a Clipper team that's playing their third game in 4 nights. They're in the middle of a stretch, Adam, in which they're playing 8 games in 7 cities in 14 days, traveling 8,000 miles. This is the end of that stretch. So they just played 8 games in 7 cities in 14 days and over 8,000 miles of travel. Anyone would be tired. I'm tired, but can't imagine playing basketball. And so it just felt like the Clippers didn't have enough gas. Ty Lue, after the team gave up the 20-point lead, waved the white flag and put in the young guys to see if they can make a run. But you get Chicago on maybe their best offensive day ever. I got this text from Joey Kimball, who never sleeps. 25 made threes is tied for the second most by a Clipper opponent in franchise history, along with the 25 the Pelicans made in 2020, August 1st. The only Clipper opponent to make more threes, double overtime loss to Sacramento, 176-175. So not only is this a great shooting night for the Bulls, it's a historic shooting game against the Clippers, who, you mentioned, Adam, opponents have been shooting over the last 15 games just 31% from the three-point line. That's the lowest mark in the NBA. Maybe the law of averages came back all in one game. That'd be nice. We can go back to 31% the rest of the way. But That is really just in a performance by Chicago where at some point you tip your cap and say, well, yeah, you guys made 25 threes.
When Kobe White hit 4 straight by himself in the fourth quarter, you just got to shake your head and say it's their night. The Clippers were due for their opponent going crazy, nuclear from the outside after what we've seen the last 15 games, and the Clippers fall 138 to 110. Still felt like John Collins had a very good game for this Clippers team, and when they did make runs, he was a big part of that.
He was a big part of that. I mean, to finish this game with his 23 points, 5 of 6 from 3, 9 of 12 from the field in just 24 minutes. Impressive stuff from John Collins, who had missed last couple of games before coming back last night against DC. It was great to see him get back in action and really play at an elite level. And for the Clippers, you know, you come into this game looking for positives. I think John Collins clearly stands out on that end. And then the Clippers, Ty Washington. 11 points in 12 minutes.
Hey, he might have earned some more minutes here.
Yeah, and 2 steals. And what does Ty Lue always say about the young guys? It's not how you score, it's how you play defense. And he played good defense in this game, so maybe earned himself some opportunities down the stretch. The Clippers had the longest winning streak in the NBA. It comes to an end in a game that, you know, if you look at the schedule, you're thinking to yourself, ooh, that's going to be tough. Especially, Adam, and you point this out, and it's a smart thing to point out, the way the game went against the Wizards. If the Clippers had blown it out, if it hadn't been close down the stretch, if Harden hadn't played 37 minutes and Dunn hadn't played 39 minutes and Zubac hadn't played 30 minutes in that game, well, then maybe the Clippers have a little more gas today. But because the game was so close last night in D.C., I think that bleeds into this one being a little bit of a tougher game to win.
Yeah, this Clippers team just looked like they were out of gas. They're ready to get back home, back to Intuit Dome, where they will be taking on the Lakers on Thursday night. Tip-off at 7. We'll have your pregame show starting at 6. Carlo Jimenez, even in a loss, great call, my friend. We'll see you back at the Dome on Thursday.
Adam, I'll see you on Thursday. Let's go.
Coming up next, second half highlights. Okay, there aren't any, but your post-game box score and much more. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to your Clippers post-game show right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
Back again. You got it.
It happens. And now the chat is right back to Ty Lue would have been fired if he was with the Lakers. Zubac should be traded. Guys go one game it takes for some people to jump right back. Where were these people recently? Nowhere to be found.
Clippers in the NBA, hosted by Adam Osland, available wherever you.
Lawrence Frank, you still sleeping?
Subscribe on YouTube.
Hottest team in the NBA, lose one game, and everybody goes back to panic mode in the chat.
Later, it's like surprise.
Man, is that on brand.
$25 a month forever. That's unlimited talk, text, and data.
Chicago literally tied a franchise high 25 made threes.
Your local booth.
It happens.
Unlimited talk, text, and data.
And it wasn't just poor defense. Chicago was shooting 35% from three the last 10 games. And they shoot 25 of 47. That's 53% from three. And I'm telling you, I assure you, over the last 10 games, they saw worse defenses than the Clippers, and yet they shot worse than this.
Designed for the family, the road trip, and the most demanding job.
With that kind of versatility,
You got to contextualize things.
Selling truck for 48 years and counting.
It happens.
2025.
The Clippers weren't winning out the rest of the season. They're 19-24.
Ford. It's time to see Ford and a new life.
Now people are saying the fringe players have been trying, but they can't take us anywhere. What do you mean, take us anywhere? They're role players and contributors. They're not supposed to be the ones that lead them. Now all of a sudden people are off of Kobe Sanders, Jordan Miller, Cam Christie, Yannick. One game? One game.
Oh, so you're a pro now too?
Box says, factor, eat like a pro.
We're putting everything into one game, says Mark Jag.
Fight like a pro.
Forget they just won 13 of 15, 6 straight, hottest team in the NBA. I've had one of the best net ratings in the league over that time. Forget all that. They lost one game to Chicago, and that's going to define them. Y'all overreact. Let the overreaction begin. The Clippers have lost. They had won 13-15. They had won 6 straight, hottest team in the NBA, and they get blown out by a hot shooting Chicago team at the end of a road trip on the second night of a back-to-back, 138-110. And apparently the season is over again, according to some people in the chat on the YouTube side at Clippers Talk. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Osland. It's your Clippers postgame show. 866-987-2570 is the phone number if you would like to call in and do some Sky is Falling radio there. Clippers shot 47% from the field, just 10 of 30 from the outside. Their opponent shot 57% from the field and 53% from three on high volume. The Chicago Bulls literally matched their franchise high of made threes in a game at 25, and they couldn't miss anything. Open gym type shooting. Kobe White hit 4 straight three-pointers at one time in the fourth quarter to put him up by as many as 31 in the game. Clippers ended up losing by 28. Clippers leading scorer, James Harden, 24 points, but on 9 of 25 shooting, 3 of 9 from the outside. He's really been struggling with his shot as of late. Vita Zubac, 12 and 11, 5 of 12 from the field. Not good enough from Big Zoo in this one. Really, outside of John Collins and Jordan Miller, just not enough good performances from the Clippers. I thought John Collins was great. He was 9 of 12, 5 of 6 from 3. So he had half the Clippers' three-pointers and only missed 1. He had 23 points. Kobe Sanders, 8 points, 3 of 5 shooting. Chris Dunn, just 4 points off the bench. Jordan Miller had 12, and Ty Washington had 11 in inconsequential garbage time, but he was playing hard out there, might have earned himself some minutes moving forward. Meanwhile, the Clippers bench, though, they were outscored 59-39, and it was worse than that, really, till the Clippers waved the white flag in the fourth quarter and got some bench scoring like they did from Ty Washington. They were being ambushed by Kevin Huerter, Trey Jones out there. This Chicago team, they just couldn't miss from three. 25 from 47 is ridiculous. It is historic for their franchise, the shooting we just saw tonight. So I'm not going to put too much into it because, I don't know, most of the time teams don't shoot like that against the Clippers. In fact, the last 15 games where they're 13-2, teams shot 31% from three, worst percentage in the league. Law of averages, now you get a team that gets really hot and shoots their best percentage of the season and ties their franchise mark with 25 made three-pointers as the Bulls blow out the Clippers 138-110 on the second night of a back-to-back where, yes, it looked like the Clippers had some tired legs. And they're coming back home. They still went 2-1, successful road trip, didn't have Kawhi for all 3 games, no John Collins for one of them, no DJ or Bogey for any of them. They still went 2-1. And they have turned a corner and are still turning things around, but need a victory over the Lakers Thursday night back at Intuit Dome. Tip off at 7. Pregame show starting at 6. Coming up next, more from your post-game box score. I'm Adam Osland. Clippers lose by 28 in Chicago to the Bulls, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
First one, back again with another edition.
There may only be 18 games in the regular
My analysis is simplistic. A team shot 25, and they made 25 three-pointers.
This is Clipper Talk.
Make sure to follow Clippers Talk.
If you don't think that's the major reason the Clippers lost the game, I got news for you. Sometimes it is that simple, sports guru. Stop watching me if you feel like that's the case, since all you do is come in here, twist words. Why don't you start your own channel, man? I'm sure people want to hear from the sports guru. I mean, it's every game in here. Of course, you really wait to talk for every Clippers loss. A lot of people haven't been here lately and haven't had that same energy because the Clippers have been winning so much. Brook Lopez was not very good. Batum was not very good. I agree. Zoo is not a dinosaur, but he didn't have a very good game, Mark. Mark says they're not beating the Lakers. I bet you money. I'm not betting money with you, but you won't be here if they do because I know how you people work. Look, Chicago hit 25 threes. Was the Clippers' defense good? No. Does bad defense lead itself to a team hitting 25 threes most night? No. You can play bad defense and a team still ain't going to go 25 of 47 from three. That is ridiculous. Tip your cap. Brook Lopez, since hitting 9 3-pointers in Portland, is now, this is rough. He is 13 for his last 65 from 3 since those 9 3-pointers Brook Lopez hit in Portland. He's due. Hopefully he gets the Lakers Thursday.
They can contend for a title. Heard exclusively on the
We ain't going to overanalyze this one too much. Clippers on the second night of a back-to-back. Still don't have Kawhi, no DJ. And they get ambushed by a hot shooting Chicago team that went 25 of 47 from the outside. You can play bad defense all you want, and teams typically still aren't hitting 25 threes on you. This was their franchise record. Unbelievable shooting from the Bulls. Hey, it happens. Last 15 games, teams are only shooting 31% from 3 against the Clippers. Law of averages. Remember earlier in the season, teams were hitting a lot. The Clippers weren't. Then the Clippers were hitting a lot, 38% from 3, while their opponents were shooting just 31% from 3. And there you go. Clippers win 13 of 15 games. That is a huge part of that reason. So on a night where a team just goes radioactive from the outside and it's a 3-point onslaught and outshoots them by 20% while hitting 15 more 3-pointers, you're going to have a rough time, especially on a back-to-back where you got a little bit less energy. And the Clippers lose 138 to 110 in Chicago to the Bulls. Clippers next game coming up on Thursday night, back it into a dome. Clippers taking on the Lakers. Tip off at 7. Your pregame show back here at 6. I'm Adam Osland. You're listening to Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Outside of LA, we're leaving you in LA. It's Clippers Talk next. This is what people don't get. You can have bad defense and somebody's still not going to hit 25 threes on you. That's open gym shooting. That is hard to do. Some of it's bad defense. Some of it is extraordinarily hot shooting. It's a pattern? I don't know. The last 15 games, teams were shooting 31% against the Clippers from the outside. So were they just so lights out with their perimeter defense? No. Part of that was their defense. Part of that is teams just missing shots. I told you earlier in the season when the averages were going against them, it wasn't all bad defense. Teams were also hitting everything. So I'm going to keep it a buck. And even when the Clippers are getting teams to shoot 31% over 15 games, it's not all defense. Some of that is shooting variance and shooting luck going back in the Clippers' favor. That's how the game works. If you watched it enough, you know better. I'm just being honest. You ain't got to overanalyze it. If teams were hitting 25 threes against the Clippers every night, that would be a pattern. If teams were shooting 50% from 3 against the Clippers every night, that would be a pattern. Guess what? They aren't. Last 15 games, teams are shooting 31%. I'm not talking like they're the 5th seed, but I am talking about how they've been playing as of late. And this has not been the trend. The trend has been Clippers have been out shooting everybody from 3. Tonight, they got a taste of their own medicine to an extreme. It's also the second night of a back-to-back and the last game of a road trip. They also don't have their best player. Yes, Chicago missing guys too, and that's fair. A lot of guys were not good enough. It can be many things. Clippers aren't good enough. Hot shooting by Chicago. Second night of a back-to-back. Maybe some guys had a foot out the door getting ready to come back home. I hope that's not the case. I wouldn't suspect that because they've been good overall with staying locked in lately.
Welcome in to Clippers Talk, the official postgame.
Clippers get run out of the gym by the running of the Bulls. And the 3-point shots is they didn't run many guys off the line. And the Bulls didn't miss many shots. 25 of 47 from three. It's a franchise career high for the Chicago Bulls. They tie a franchise high, I should say, making 25 three-pointers. Clippers lose 138 to 110. Clippers have finally lost, and people are losing their minds. It's like, did some of you think the Clippers were never going to lose again, or they were going to win 13 of the next 15 games? Because I could have told you that wasn't going to happen. 13 of 15 is special. Hottest team in the NBA. Did it come to a crashing halt at the hands of the Chicago Bulls, who aren't that great of a team and missing Josh Giddey? Yes. It happens. Teams get beat. Hornets beat the Thunder. I saw Washington beat the Nuggets twice last year when Denver had Jokic. If you overreact to every win or every loss, you're going to go through a roller coaster of emotions. In your heart, it's going to drop like the drop zone. It's difficult to do it that way, but I understand that's a part of fanship. I just try to put things in perspective here and look at patterns and trends in the overall body of work the last month and a half from this Clippers team. In the last month or so, they've been playing like one of the best teams in the NBA finally. It took too long. They started 6-21. There's a multitude of reasons for that. But as I said in the intro, while the Clippers have turned the tide, they're still underwater. And now they're 19-24. So yeah, these wins hurt, or these losses hurt. These wins by the Bulls over you hurt. But you got to put things in perspective. This team looked gassed. They played heavy minutes against Washington yesterday. James Harden has been playing heavy minutes. His shot hasn't looked great for a while now, and he was 9 of 25 from the field. And while he had spectacular fourth quarters against Washington yesterday, against Toronto on Friday night, he could not be the hero in this game. We got you guys for the next hour here on Clippers Talk. 866-987-2570 is the phone number. 866-987-2570. If you're listening on AM 570 LA Sports, the iHeartRadio app, or you're joining the chat on the YouTube side, appreciate you guys being here. Some people say, well, these are excuses. Well, that's eye of the beholder. You can look at them as excuses. You can look at them as an explanation and a reason for things. I try to contextualize. The Clippers went 13-2 the last 15 games coming into this one. During that time, the Clippers shot 38% from three. Their opponents over the last 15 games heading into today shot 31% from three. That is completely unsustainable. I said it on X earlier before the game. If you saw that, that's too extreme for you to be the fourth best shooting team from three over 15 games and the opposition to be the worst team shooting from three against you every night. It's just unsustainable. And tonight, the law of averages progressed in a drastic way against the Clippers, where their opposition shot historically from the outside, hitting 25 three-pointers and shooting 53% from the outside. Chicago tying a franchise mark from distance. If you think that's an excuse, I don't know what to tell you. I think you're just one of those guys like, no excuses. Got to be a hard ass. You got to win every game. You got to have your 110% every night. Okay, great. You can enjoy all those sports cliches. All I know is, body of work-wise, the Clippers have been trending in the right direction, and this is an outlier type game from what we've seen over the last 15. If you're shooting 39% from three over 15 games and your opponent is only shooting 31%, well, that explains some of the reason the Clippers went 13-2 over those 15 games. And it also explains how an opponent is probably going to be due that was only shooting 35% their last 10 games, Chicago, from three against you. A mean regression was going to happen. It happened. That's okay. The Clippers have still had the third best net rating in the league over the last 15 games. And 15 games is not nothing. Now, the Clippers put themselves in this position because they started 6-21, where every game is so meaningful. And when you lose a game to Chicago, who's a couple of games under 500 without their best player, It stings. Contextualize it. Second night of a back-to-back. It's very difficult against a younger team with a ton of energy to sweep a road trip like this without your best player in Kawhi Leonard. They still went 2-1. They went 2-1. That's a successful road trip. The Clippers are turning this thing around. But there's going to be hiccups along the way. Teams that are 10 games above 500 have bad losses all the time. And I'm sure their fan bases freak out just the same. If you want to say, well, the Clippers, they don't have that margin for error, I agree with you. They don't. But they went 13-2 over a 15-game stretch. It was unlikely they were going to go 13-2 over the next 15 games. But there are still some winnable games here, and there's a possibility to get back to 500 before the All-Star break. There's a possibility Kawhi Leonard could be back on Thursday against the Lakers. But there's upsets in the NBA weekly, nightly, and I don't think this was a huge upset. I think you look at the way it happened, and it makes people freak out. Their defense sucks. They gave up 25 threes. You can play bad defense, and teams still aren't going to hit 25 threes on you. That's extraordinary shooting. That's hitting everything. Kobe White in the fourth quarter hit 4 straight threes at one point. There's another team out there with professionals, too. And I didn't love the Clippers' energy in this one. And really, when things started to get away from them, there were 3 runs in this game that decided it overall. The Clippers led by 5 after the first quarter. And they still hadn't played very well. And I thought to myself, well, they're not in a terrible position here. They still got guys who can wake up. They've had some bad turnovers by James Harden. Hopefully he's due. It was 30-25 after 1. And the Clippers were fortunate to have 5 turnovers in the first quarter, but they didn't lead to any points. The Bulls had 5 turnovers leading to 8 Clippers points. The problem was Chicago already got hot from 3 in the first. They went, I want to say, 6 of 13 from 3 in the first quarter. Clippers still led by 5. But there was a run in the second quarter by the Bulls. First, a 9-0 run, capped by Vucevic going around Ivica Zubac on the perimeter for a dunk. I don't think it was a very good game for Ivica Zubac at all. His numbers don't look that bad. The numbers don't tell the full story, the 12 and 11. He's got to be better out there. He had one of the better plus minuses on the team, I guess, only being -8. Jordan Miller was -33. He had the best plus minus of any player the last 6 games during the 6-game winning streak on the Clippers team. And tonight he goes -33. It's unbelievable how you can get humbled in this league very quickly. I'm not saying he had that bad of a game, but he was on the court when a lot of bad things and runs happened by Chicago. Is there a connection there? I didn't think Jordan Miller was extraordinarily bad on either end. There's wrong place, wrong time. Plus minus, single game plus minus doesn't always tell you a lot. But the Clippers are down 45-37. So we're talking about a 13-point turnaround from them being up by 5 to now being down by 8 after a 9-0 run by the Bulls in the second quarter. They call a timeout, and James Harden puts up an air ball 3 out of the timeout. Terry bucket. 11-0 run now for Chicago. Clippers down by 10. Harden gets a layup on a dribble drive. Collins went 1-on-3 on a pretty impressive play and brought it back down to 6. But a Smith 3-pointer, a Vucevic layup, Clippers back down 11. And now it really starts to get away from them. As Chicago is starting to get huge contributions from their bench. They had 27 points off the bench like midway through the second quarter. They're up 55-43. The Sumu, right wing three. 58-43 Bulls. Timeout. Kobe Sanders put back dunk. Harden gets blocked by Vucevic. I don't know if I've ever seen Harden get blocked more than I did in this ball game today. The Bulls ended up with 11 blocks. 6 of them might have been on James Harden. 6. That's a little bit concerning. Did he not have the lift? Is just Chicago's night against him? The Clippers then, after Harden got blocked, Zoo missed a couple of tip-ins. They're down by 17. Then Zoo says, forget the tip-ins, a big dunk. Bulls hit a 3. They're up 65-47. Kobe White free throws, Clippers down 20. Collins a big dunk, 18-point game. Bazula another three-pointer, and the Clippers are down 70-49 at the half. 70-49. The Bulls went on a 34-12 run in the second quarter. They had 14 threes in the first half. They averaged 14 per game. They went 8 of 14 from 3 in the second quarter after going 6 of 13 from 3 in the first. Chicago had 34 points in the last 8 minutes of the second quarter. So the Clippers are down 21. That was the first big run. There's 2 more of consequence in this game. Here it comes from the Clippers. To start the third quarter, John Collins, who had himself a nice game and went 5 of 6 from the outside, hits a three-pointer. Vucevic bucket, still a 20-point game. Kobe Sanders 3. Chicago felt the momentum shift, only up by 17 and called a timeout. They threw up an air ball out of that timeout. At that point, I started to feel like maybe they'll regress to the mean from 3 and the Clippers will progress and start hitting some shots. Kobe White layup, Clippers down 19. Zoo and 1 at 74-58. Steal by Collins. Harden looked for Ivica Zubac on a tough pass, and it's broken up. The Clippers' 9th turnover. And James Harden, you can talk about the 24 points, but it took him 25 shots to get there, and he had 6 assists to 6 turnovers. Not good enough. He did hit a 3 after that. 15-point game. Clippers get a stop, but turnover. Harden trying to lob it over the defense to John Collins. Really bad pass. Terry puts them back up by 17. And 1 for Kobe Sanders. 14-point game. Turnover Chicago. Zoo put back. Clippers are down 12. 78-66. Chicago misses a 3. Collins hits a 3. It's a 9-point game. In less than 5 minutes into the third quarter, the Clippers took a 21-point lead down to 9. Then an 8-0 run at one point in 72 seconds, a 20-8 run. It was 78-69, Clippers down 9. Buzella's airballs a 3. Collins lob from Ivica Zubac in the short roll. It's a 7-point game. Collins three-pointer, 6-point game after a 13-2 Clippers run. It is a 6-point game with about 5.5 minutes left in the third quarter. But the Bulls go on a 4-0 run. Buzella's gets a layup in transition. It's a 10-point game again. I don't know if the Clippers ever got it back to within 9. They might have, yes. Out of the timeout after down 10, James Harden hit a three-pointer. But then a Smith and 1. Harden gets blocked again. Trey Jones layup. They're back up by 11. Buzella's dunk, 90-77. 6-0 Bulls run. Lopez turnover. Chicago scores again. It's a 15-point game. Harden misses a 3. Buzella's 3. Clippers down 18. Kevin Huerter 3. They're down 20. Lopez travels out of a timeout. The Clippers go 4 minutes scoreless at one point late in the third. Again, it was a 6-point game. Around the 5:30 mark of the third quarter. They end up going 4 minutes and 30 seconds without scoring any points, the Clippers. Get ambushed. Huerter hits a three-pointer out of a timeout, and the Clippers are down 21 again and found themselves down 19 heading into the fourth, 102-81. It was a 6-point game. But you go 4.5 minutes scoreless, and Chicago goes back to hitting everything, and you have bad turnovers. It can unravel just like that. So it's 102-81 early in the fourth quarter. And Coach Lue just empties the bench. And I don't know if I love this move, to be honest. I know a lot of people are always saying, play the young guys. Well, you play the young guys. The Clippers are down 102 to 83, down by 19 heading into the fourth quarter. And Coach Lue put it in a bench lineup. Maybe he had just seen enough. It was a lot of starters looking like they were running out of gas into the third quarter. He wanted to give the bench an opportunity with Cam, Ty, Kobe Brown, Jordan Miller, and Yannick to start it the fourth quarter and see if they could make a run. They did get it to 16 after a lob to Yannick, who also had a crazy block on Kobe White. But that's as close as it would get. Vucevic 3, Clippers down 21, and then Kobe White hit 4 straight three-pointers. They got down by 31, and they lose the game 138 to 110. If you want to criticize Coach Lue for waving the white flag too early or just going with all the young guys because he wanted to see if they could bring some more energy, maybe it wasn't a white flag. I get that. I think that criticism's fair. We'll hear from him coming up, 866-987-2570, 866-987-2570. Clippers lose in Chicago, their first loss in their last 7 games because they had just won 6 in a row. I'm Adam Osland. You're listening to Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports.
The We Make It Easy sales event is here. So now if you're back home for a great deal on a new Toyota. Choose from the biggest selection in the year.
It's weird how fast people just jump off.
With its striking design.
Yesterday, there were like 300 people in the chat after the Clippers won that game. Right now, there's 50. That's a little weak.
Toyota is here. Make it easy.
Everything was right in the world yesterday with the Clippers. Now everything's wrong. Now we don't have an identity again. Now it's just complete panic. Mark Jag, nowhere to be seen yesterday in here. Nobody's saying any of this stuff over the Clippers going 13-2 over a 15-game stretch. Maybe these guys just trolling or just big casuals. I don't know, but I agree. The vets didn't do enough in this game. Harden and Zubats and Lopez, they weren't good enough. I get it. Fans are fanatic, fickle. It's a little bit disappointing. It's like, come on, guys. They won 13 of 15. You wouldn't have signed up for them to win 13 of 15, even if it meant losing to the Bulls after that? You would have signed up. You would not have signed up for that? Come on. People just jumping off so quick. A little disappointing. Like, I get it. It's a disappointing loss. They got an onslaught of threes hit on them. An outrageous amount of three-pointers hit on them. 25. Chicago's franchise record. They tied it.
Yeah, checking first.
And I don't think Zubats was good enough. Harden was good enough. Chris Dunn was good enough. Lopez was good enough. I'm looking at the vets here. Nico. I can't blame the young guys that much. They're going to be more inconsistent.
Heard exclusively on the LA Clippers.
All good things. You know the rest. Clippers winning streak is over. They lose 138 to 110 in Chicago to the Bulls, as Chicago hit 25 three-pointers on them. And the Clippers went just 10 of 30 from the outside. And during that streak of winning 13 of 15, there was only one game where the Clippers were outshot from 3 by their opponent that they won during that time. It was yesterday against the Wizards. Outside of that, you can reduce every game to saying the Clippers outshot their opponent from 3, and that's why they won. And if you're wondering how you lose by 28, your opponent hits 25 three-pointers on you. I'm Adam Moslin. It's Clippers Talk, 866-987-2570. 866-987-2570 is the phone number. I'm looking for post game from Coach Lou because I do want to hear from him after a loss like this, especially here. Because it's not like the Clippers didn't make that run to take it down to 6. It's a 6-point game and I'll give you the exact time on the clock in the third quarter. I keep saying 5.5-minute mark. It was with 5:38 left in the third quarter. It is a 6-point game. The Clippers came out with the right mindset and some shooting luck. They knocked down a couple of three-pointers to start the third quarter. And I thought, here we go. Comeback Clips. Hashtag comeback Clips. They got all the belief in the world with the way they've been winning, the type of games they've been winning without Kawhi. They can do this. It's an uphill battle, but they can do it. The shooting should go back in their favor at some point. Sometimes you progress to the mean, they regress within 48 minutes. Sometimes you just can't shut the water off for a team when they have a historic shooting night like Chicago did. The amount of times you see a team shoot well in the first half or the first 3 quarters and then cool off, it happens all the time. Not tonight. And that's how a team hits 25 three-pointers. Part of the problem is their defense was not physical enough and impactful enough in the first quarter, where Chicago started off hot and went 6 of 13. There are times in games where if you let them hit shots early, if they see shots go through early, you can't shut it off. They're just in rhythm. Then you have a hand in their face. It doesn't matter. I thought the Clippers defense was much better to start the third quarter. Chicago missed a couple, but eventually they started hitting everything again. And the Clippers' turnovers compounded things. Chicago had 34 fast break points. 34. And this wasn't all on just turnovers either. They were just outrunning the Clippers, running the Bulls. They're not as fast, I believe, as they were last season. I should double check that on pace. And remember, Chicago started off this year 5-0. Now, you know what? They are 4th in pace, so they took advantage of the Clippers, looking slower, being a slower team, and then on the second night of a back-to-back, 34 points in transition. That can't happen. You're not surviving that. But a lot of those transition threes, pull-up threes, quick hitters, they were great in that area. Clippers not nearly good enough in any area, offensively, defensively as well. I'm not saying the Clippers played a great defensive game. I am saying even if you're having a bad night defensively, teams still don't hit 25 three-pointers on you. That is rare. That is outlier shooting. That's tough to do. But Chicago did it. They deserved it. They earned it. And the Clippers have to go back to the drawing board and get ready for the Lakers on Thursday. And I think they'll respond. These games happen at the end of road trips sometimes, where you're spent, you're tired, you don't got your best player, you've emptied the tank, there's not much left. And if you put yourself then in a position where it's an uphill battle and you got to mount all this energy just to get back into the game like they did in the third quarter, you got enough for one big run. But then if Chicago responds to that with a run of your own, it's probably going to be the knockout, because it took far too much for the Clippers to have to get back into this game where I don't know if they had the energy, the requisite energy to finish it off. I agree, Zoo wasn't good enough against Vucevic. It's also one game. Defining anything by one game is lazy. I look more at body of work and how the Clippers have been playing in totality lately, and they've been good. And you can't tell me you wouldn't have signed up for them to win 13 of 15, even if it meant right after that they had a bad loss in Chicago on the second night of a back-to-back. You cannot tell me with a straight face that, oh, no, I wouldn't sign up for that. Of course you would. Do they need to win Thursday against the Lakers and bounce back? Yes, they do. Clippers weren't good enough. Chicago's night from 3. You can sum it up to that. I still think the Clippers defense could have been better. I still think the effort could have been better. I still think, yes, the process on offense could have been better. James Harden taking 25 shots and only making 9 of them and having 6 turnovers. He had a couple of turnovers in the first half where he just inexplicably lost the basketball. Nobody even stripped it from him. He was trying to cross the guy over and just lost it. That speaks to fatigue, whether physical, mental, lack of focus. But James Harden's got to be better. He's also saved them the last 2 fourth quarters without Kawhi. So I'm not going to be overly harsh, but he and Ivica Zubac are the top 2 guys I'm looking at tonight. I need more. I mean, I know he played 30 minutes last night. I know James Harden played over 30 minutes, and Zoo ends up playing 22 tonight and just wasn't dominant enough. Missing those gimmies, those tip-ins. Next time down, he had a big throwdown and looked like he was trying to make up for it. Okay, I'll just dunk it now, but just play with more force and more energy and more pop from the beginning. I thought he was better to start the third quarter, but too much inconsistent play from Ivica Zubac. Maybe he's still dealing with the injury, but he's got to be better. Just more consistent out there overall. Jamil in Pasadena calling in on Clippers Talk. Jamil, what's up?
How you doing, Adam? How's everything going with you, brother?
It was better before this Clippers loss, but it happens.
Yeah, well, that's the part about sports, right? It's like, it's a spectrum of emotion. It's like, sometimes it can be high, sometimes it can be low. But I agree with you. They look gassed. James, I don't know if after the shoulder injury, I've noticed that he's been laboring a lot more to get to his spots and get to his shots, or even instead of shooting threes as much, he's been getting downhill. I'm not sure if it's may hit, affect him when he's shooting the ball. But I think fatigue played a factor, and just the reacclimation playing with Kawhi, and against a team like Chicago, a team that's scrappy. You got 1 through 5 on each end. They got a bench. You got a young team. So I think it's just a bounce back for Thursday. Just reset, flush it, reset your mind, get some good rest, get back home. Hopefully we get some more information on Kawhi, some good information. We can get back rolling again. Not the end of the world, though.
It's not. You have to have a big picture view. They just won 13 of 15. They just were the hottest team in the NBA. They had just won 6 straight. And now you're going to jump off the bandwagon because they lost a game in Chicago the second night of a back-to-back where good teams have trouble on 0 days rest. Great teams have trouble on 0 days rest. It happens. People, do you know what a scheduled loss is? Like, these things are real.
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
And they travel.
Like, you could say that's an excuse, or you can say, look at the numbers. It can be an explanation at times. And they've traveled this much as of late. Yes.
It is. It is, Adam, because, like you said, there's no way you're going to go from D.C. and go to Chicago, play the next day, and then get enough rest, get enough time. We know how the planes work. They drop them off at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. So, hey, man, they ain't got no real rest yet. They got to acclimate to the core. It's like it's too much. So, like you said, the scheduled losses is kind of like speed traps in the street. Like sometimes you can find yourself getting pulled over because going too fast. Because it's just the way the street is. It's just you're going to go too fast. Same thing in basketball. You're going to lose these kind of games, especially with no Kawhi, especially with John Collins in and out, especially with Zubac messing with both his ankle injuries. We got James Harden who's laboring with his shoulder injury. We got a lot of new pieces that trying to acclimate themselves. Tyronn Lue trying to, incorporate Ty Washington and, get Giannis some more time. And it's acclimation. And we got plenty of time to get back within 500 before the All-Star break. So if we just do that, that's just the goal that we need to get to right now. Like you said, bigger picture.
Yeah. The goal was to go 35-20 the rest of the way after they were 6-21. And they are 13-3 since that point. I mean,
exactly.
What are we talking about here? I think they've been pretty damn good over the last month.
Yes, and defensively has stepped up, offensively has stepped up. And like you said about Zubac, when you have Zubac having the kind of games he has, you could tell it's one of them days where Zoo's missing bunnies and he's not getting the rebound. It's like sometimes you just have those kind of games. Sports, sometimes it just happens like that. I mean, Like look at basketball, and like you said, the Thunder just got done beat by them same team, Chicago. I think the Hornets beat them, and then I think the Jazz got beat by 52 points. Beat somebody by 52 points before we played them. So that's sports. You win some, you lose some. Don't cry. Don't try to flush it all down the toilet and say, oh, it's one game right here. It's a microcosm of the whole season. It's like, no, man, we lost to a better team today. Like you said, Chicago was one of the hottest teams in the beginning of the season coming in. So it's like, no, man, you have this and lost.
Well,
it wasn't embarrassing. We saved the starters.
I don't think Chicago's a great team, but they shot great from the outside, and you tie a franchise record for main three-pointers in a night, you're probably winning against most anybody.
Yeah, and that's against a team like us who has been known for giving up the most three-pointers. In the beginning of the season, I think we led the league in the most open threes or whatever behind the arc. So it's like we're just regressing back to the mean for right now. We gotta get back home, get in our own beds, get back to the West Coast time zone, and get some good weather, get some good food, and wash down the toilet, wash your hands with it. Hopefully, get Kawhi back. We're gonna get to play them faking Lakers. We can get them out the way, and we can go on about our day.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jamil. You got to be level-headed about it. Appreciate the phone call. Jamil from Pasadena, one of our regulars here on Clippers Talk. While we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on AM 570 LA Sports.
This is LA Clippers basketball. AM 570 KLAC Los Angeles, 98.7 KYSR HD2 Los Angeles, an iHeart radio station.
You ain't got to overreact to every game. You just don't. Are the Clippers trending in the right direction overall? Yes. They need to go 22-17 the rest of the way to end up at 500. They could probably do better than that if they continue to play well. But they were never going to go 13-2 over the next 15 games. That's just too much to ask. 13-2 was a special run, winning 6 straight, being the hottest team in the NBA. Special run. They came back to earth on the second night of a back-to-back against a Chicago team that had to hit 25 three-pointers. Yeah, they win by 28. Clippers coming back home to Intuit Dome against the Lakers Thursday night, 7 p.m. tip, 6 p.m. pregame. Quick timeout. I'm Adam Moslin. You're listening to Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports.
My name is Kyle Hurt. I drive a Toyota Tacoma CRD off-road.
It's okay, y'all.
You make it yours.
I have a.
You see any Coach Lou, Daniel?
Not yet. I'll check some of my sites. I didn't see anything yet.
1 inch in the back.
We'll check again.
The sun is going to rise tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now it's easier than ever to modify your
Clippers
Toyota at your local Toyota.
weren't going to win the rest of their games this season. Go undefeated the rest of the way.
Like ARB,
I'm telling you.
Rigid, Rhino, and more. So you can customize with confidence.
My favorite spot that
They weren't going to go undefeated against teams under 500 either.
in Utah Touch. It's a Blue Ribbon River, which means the fly fishing is incredible.
From suspension upgrades to roof racks.
Just keep winning 6 of 10, 7 of 10.
Be at your local Toyota dealer just the way you want, with warranted custom work. Or shop online at Toyota.
Man, I want to hear from Coach Lou postgame.
We make it easy.
Why is it so hard to get this audio?
Never have I ever called my sister.
If you guys see any postgame quotes from Coach Lou, let me know. Or any players.
Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm going to make it.
T-Mobile's 55 fun.
Yeah, look, if Kawhi's not back by Thursday, my level of concern goes up.
$30 a lot.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I already said that
That was amazing. Mom, how do you
over the weekend on Clippers Talk on a live. If he's not back Thursday, my level of concern is going up, without a doubt.
Every shot, every month, every memory on America's Best Network.
Then you got just doomers like Mark. If Kawhi is out for 2 weeks, I wonder how Adam will spin it. Everything is fine. Did I say everything was fine when the Clippers were 6-21? I said they could trade anyone. I'd be fine with it, like to make the team better. I'm still in that place. They're 19-24. Big picture wise, they're still not looking like a contender this season. Nobody's ever won a championship the last 25 years without being a top 3 seed.
Audio Network.
Eight 866-972-570 if you want to get on after the Clippers lose in Chicago, 138-110. As them Bulls were hot from the outside. They tied a franchise high, hitting 25 3-pointers against the Clippers. 866-987-2570. At follow Adam A on X if you'd also like to get on. Was it the Kobe White audition game? I don't know. He definitely wasn't playing for the Clippers tonight. Those 4 straight 3-pointers in the fourth quarter. Kobe White finished 9 of 16, 6 of 10 from 3, had 27 points. It was great. I do like him. I know a lot of you have thrown out that trade speculation. Hey, Kobe White, do they appreciate him enough in Chicago? He's up for a new contract. Now somebody in here in the chat, Sports Guru, of course. Adam assesses Harden's process, notwithstanding his obvious fatigue. I've mentioned his fatigue. I've also mentioned he still needs to be better. Notwithstanding his obvious. I mentioned both. I hit it from all angles. I don't oversimplify. I don't stand. I've called out him and Ivica Zubats weren't good enough. I said Coach Lou waving the white flag to start the fourth quarter. I didn't love that. Criticism there. Y'all hear what you want to hear sometimes. You see it through your own basketball prism and agenda. This was a tough loss because you've been so used to the winning. The Clippers have conditioned you to think they're going to win every game all of a sudden. Well, that's not the case. I'm sorry. This just in. The Clippers are still 19-24. They've turned the tide, but their heads not above water yet. They got a lot of work to do. If that compounds things for you, losing to a Bulls team without Josh Giddey, I get it. I contextualize it, though. They had to hit 25 3-pointers. They got the Clippers on the second night of a back-to-back, and the Clippers still went 2-1 on this road trip with monumental victories late where they have gone 4-0 in their last 4 games in clutch time. Last 5 minutes within 5 points. So those games, those coin flip games the Clippers were losing earlier in the season, they've been much better in. Overall trends going in the right direction for the Clippers. Tonight, hopefully just an outlier. Hey, they lose 5 of the next 6. Yeah. Then you're in trouble. Hopefully they get a victory against the Lakers on Thursday night, backing into a dome. Would you make a move for Ben Mathurin? Well, I am a fan of his. What's the move? When you're 19-24, I think everything has to be on the table. Right now, at best, it looks like, and this is a long shot, the Clippers would be the 6th seed. At best, it's a long shot. More likely 8th through 10th in the play-in. Remember, they got a ton of games to play in March. The schedule does get tougher. It gets more condensed. Some people now are going, what are we trying to accomplish? Keep the 500 streak alive? Win games, build good habits, and continue to play the young guys and look towards the future with them. Kobe Sanders, a revelation this season. Jordan Miller back in. Giannis looked good in, minimum amount of time, but he's gotten some run. It's been good for him. Cam Christie, as of late, showing more. You could say the same thing for a bunch of other teams. What are we doing? What's the goal? What's the plan? What's the process here? Clippers trying to win games. They're trying to compete. They're trying to be competitive. They're trying to get into the playoffs. Until they have a sell-off, that's what it looks like to me. 866-987-2570. Wilmer in South Central. Wilmer, you're on Clipper Stock with Adam Moslem. What's up?
Hey, Double A, you got me?
What up? I got you, Wilmer.
Well, I want to thank you, Carlos, Big Brother, everybody for the content.
Thank you.
You guys have been really good. Yeah, no problem. First-time caller, long-time listener. Today's game, I don't think it's anything we got to worry about. Back-to-back, like you were saying, they were getting hot from three-point line. It happens, nothing to worry about.
It could be a blip in what continues to be an overall winning streak for the Clippers, or at least winning basketball, where they win 8 of their next 10 or 7 of their next 10. That's what I'm here for. That's what I want to see. Just continue to win 6 of 10, win 7 of 10. That's what I want to see. 13-2 over 15 games is just not realistic to continue to keep doing that. It's not realistic to expect everyone to shoot 31% from 3 against you while you shoot 39% against them, which is what happened over the last 15 games heading into tonight. It's a law of averages thing. You got to be honest about it. The Clippers have had the shooting variance going their way for some time, and it came crashing down in Chicago.
No, it wasn't a good game for us, but we got to focus on the next thing now. Next game is coming up, Lakers. We got to prep. Hopefully, Kawhi can be ready to go, and if not, next man up. It's definitely a winnable game for us, and we can continue where we left off. I definitely do want to get your thoughts on Giannis. I definitely think he deserves some minutes, but I'm just not sure how we're going to get there unless we take him away from Brook Lopez, which he hasn't been playing good recently, but I still believe he has something he can give us, but I just don't know. We got to pick one or the other. I'm not sure which way I would go.
Since the 9 3-pointer game by Brook Lopez up in Portland a few weeks back, he is 13 for his last 65 from the outside. That's 20%. But I still like his play. I still like his rim protection. I think Giannis is going to get minutes sparingly out there. I love the block he had on Kobe White in the fourth quarter. My goodness. He has shown a propensity to be a rim runner and a rim defender in spurts, in small stretches. But I'm still not playing him heavy minutes over Zoo or Brook Lopez at this point. I assume, based upon the averages, with Brook Lopez has been a pretty consistent 37% three-point shooter the last few years, that he is due. He is due to start hitting some from the outside, because the whole spacing thing and that whole conversation of, oh, it's spacing. Look, Clippers have won 6 in a row. It's Brook Lopez in and not Ivica Zubac. Well, that conversation fizzled out pretty quickly. They kept winning when Ivica Zubac came back, and Brook Lopez isn't hitting shots from the outside. Therefore, they're not guarding him. Therefore, they're cramping the paint more. So he's not creating much spacing. It's totally nonsensical, that argument. He has to hit threes for them to respect his three-point shot from the outside, and he hasn't been. I saw plenty of open threes from him over the last couple of weeks now.
Yeah, if he doesn't start hitting his threes, then it's something we gotta hope he does if he's gonna stay in the rotation. Because if not, then I'm definitely ready to give Giannis some minutes. I like what I see when he's out there, his athleticism, his youth. Like, I definitely wouldn't mind seeing him more over Brook Lopez if he's not getting hitting his shots.
I think that's fair. His shot, Brook Lopez's shot, is a big part of his game. If he continues to not hit and stay in this rut from the outside, maybe you do give Giannis minutes. But you trust the body of work with Brook Lopez too. And I don't know if they want to give up on him when he was playing some pretty good basketball for a minute and did have some hot shooting going his way for a second. So we'll see, Wilmer. I appreciate you calling in. First time caller. Don't make it your last call.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. You take care of yourself. God bless.
Jose Downey. Jose, you're on Clippers Talk with Adam Moslin after they lose 138-110 in Chicago to the Bulls. What's up, Jose?
What's up, Adam? I mean, I'm be honest here. I missed part of the show, but I caught on when we were talking about what do we do, and I guess some fans were saying, "What are we doing out here?" I mean, they're trying to win games. I mean,
yeah.
what do you want them to do?
Lose and still not get their first round pick because OKC has it? Like, they're trying to compete and win games.
Yeah. It's a deep hole we're coming out of. I mean, they played really well. I mean, but they are still the oldest team in the NBA. Nights like this are going to happen. I mean, it's a back-to-back. They've been playing great. Yeah, they're tired. It happened. And I mean, I wouldn't say they shot the worst that they have for the three-point line. I think we've seen some games where they've shot really, really bad. 33%. I mean,
No, it was more so what the opponent was doing from three.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, if you're playing another team that's going to shoot 30-something% as well, I mean, it'd be a closer game. But no, the Bulls were passing. I mean, I think they had double our assists. So, I mean, that should tell you the ball was flowing and moving. I mean, it's going to happen to an older team. I mean, you're gonna have some games where all this, I guess, energy they had to spend, and they spent a lot of energy trying to get themselves in this position. And you know what? It's going to happen. So, I mean, it might take a couple games. We're getting into the halfway point, and these things happen. I mean, I would love to be in a better position if it wasn't that deep hole we're coming out of. But, I mean, I kind of like where we're at. I mean, they can get themselves another little run. I'm not saying they're going to jump into the 6th seed, but, I mean, hey, they're trying. I got to say, they are really fighting out there.
They only had their 3rd loss in the last 31 days. Fewest amount of losses over the last 31 days in the NBA. Yet some people are saying sky is falling. It's remarkable to me.
Yeah, it was going to happen. I mean, again, they've been playing great ball in 15, 16 games. I mean, it wasn't their night. I mean, and then it was tired legs. It was back to back. I mean, let's not forget, just because they're playing great, that they're not the older team in the league. They are, and let them regroup. And I'm sure they're going to have another little push. It seems like they've really learned how to maneuver themselves. I like what Ty Lue is doing, and trying to put everybody in a good spot, trying everything on those lineups, and and same thing with Brooke. I know he's not hitting, but I do like the way he's defending the paint. I feel like he's moving faster. I don't know if that's an optical illusion, as in he's moving faster more than everybody is rotating on the defense side. They know their job, not kind of like what it was in the beginning. So, I mean, something still looks good there, and he's still going to be there regardless of if he's hitting the 3 or not. It's still going to open the floor for some other players to drive, or the mid-range 4 Harden, because he seems to be hitting from the mid-range a lot in this run. And same thing with Kawhi when he's there. I mean, Miller's hitting that mid-range, so is Kobe. So, I mean, it gives, even if he's not hitting, it's still giving him a chance. And he's not only shooting threes, he does have, a couple shots from the inside every game, and, or he has a quick step on somebody. I mean, they're trying, man. That's all I got to say. I joined the chat late, but, I mean, come on, man. They are fighting out there. And what we're doing is we're trying to get into that at the minimum 10th, 9th spot, but I'm sure I never wish anything bad on any team. But with the Jimmy Butler thing going down, I'm sure if you're the Clippers, you have to be looking at it like, there's kind of more of a chance now, to try to move into that 9th, try to move into that 8th, see what you can do.
Yeah, it's not wishing injury on anyone. It's just saying, well, an opportunity has come about, and nobody feels bad for the Clippers when they're down guys. So you got to take advantage of it, just like they take advantage of when Kawhi's out like he is in this game. I mean, people are freaking out over this loss, and they forgot after winning 6 straight, they got shellacked by Boston at home, where Jaylen Brown had 50, and they hit 24 threes, and they won 146-115 over a Clippers team that had Kawhi Leonard, unlike tonight. And then the Clippers won the very next game without James Harden against the Golden State Warriors, and then they lost again, a tough one in New York, a good ball club, and then guess what? They won 6 straight. Like, are you just living within the last 3 hours? Some of the people in the chat, have you not been watching this team? They've had some losses and they've responded. This is not the end of the world.
Yeah. I mean, hey, man, to everybody, just let it ride, man. Let it ride until, I mean, I'm sure it's well documented on your show. I'm one who called in the beginning. I was like, hey, we're going to blow it up. You got to blow it up early. But now you go on this run. I'm not saying, there isn't some propensities for some moves. I just don't think it's the big moves that we were all talking about, earlier, when it was like, hey, if this is the way it's going to end, then maybe we got to start making moves. But it doesn't look like that right now. I know they're not somewhere in the top 6 or anything, but I mean, there is a chance, and you just got to give yourself a chance. That's all you got to do. Got to give yourself a chance.
Yeah.
And they're doing that. I think they're fighting out there.
I appreciate the phone call, Jose. Always appreciate it. Jose and Downey there. Clippers lose in Chicago by a final of 138-110. I mean, I can remember, back longer than just 24 hours. I'm old enough to remember the Clippers getting destroyed by Boston and coming back and winning the very next game. Losing in New York, where they gave it away in the second half, and then winning 6 in a row. I mean, they've dealt with some adversity, even while they went 13-2 over 15 games, and they responded. So it's not the end of the world to me. Let's see if they respond against the Lakers on Thursday night back at Intuit Dome, and hopefully Kawhi Leonard is available, who is a knee contusion to his left knee. A contusion is a bruise. Hopefully he's good And some of this was just getting him a week off since he had the ankle injury before that, or around the same time. 866-987-2570. Quick timeout. Here on Clippers Talk, I'm at a Muslim. They lose in Chicago to the Bulls 138-110, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
Ford F-150. You'll see hard work.
I ain't freaking out yet.
And so much more. Inside and out, it's designed for family, the road trip, and the most demanding job.
If they beat the Lakers on Thursday, how many of these people freaking out are going to be here?
The 2025 Ford.
Why is this Dallas Maverick fan always in here? I put him in timeout.
Ford. It's time to see Ford and a new life.
Here's a slam dunk for
The chat's definitely on the unhinged side more than usual tonight.
Installing an EV charger at your home? Get a rebate for that to up to $1,500.
Is there anything productive going on in the chat?
With LADWP rebates. These offers put more money back in your pocket while helping the planet.
What is that Lakers score?
DWP.com/EV today to start saving.
They're down 71-57 at the half.
EV, proud partner of the LA Clippers.
Clippers fans, watching from the couch is fine, but the real show, that's in the arena. And when you've got to be there to catch all the sights, sounds, and
Matherin for bogey?
Ticketmaster's got you covered.
Yeah, I don't think Indiana's doing that, my guy.
And the NBA, Ticketmaster has tickets available to every game. Even if you're making
The first trade you mentioned, I think about.
And when you're in the building, you don't just see the highlights, you feel them. That no-look pass that makes the crowd gasp, that dunk that rattles the rim and shakes the arena, that buzzer beater that has everyone on their feet. And even if the
Man,
off the court that make you do
I get frustrated when I can't hear from Coach Lou postgame.
your crew and lock in your tickets at Ticketmaster today.
But I don't think we're getting it.
Nothing beats being able to say you were there. Get tickets
I haven't
at
seen anything.
Ticketmaster.com/Clippers. Grab them before they're
To my knowledge, there's no media on the road. Brian Seaman had to interview him post-game yesterday. It's like Brian's doing it all.
Heard exclusive.
Clippers lose in Chicago 138-110. Two doubles. No, bulls. They hit 25 threes. Wait. I would be more alarmed if the Bulls didn't shoot that well and the Clippers lost. It's like, hey, a team hits 25 threes on you, you lose. You kind of just tip your cap and move on. It was their night. The Clippers didn't play well. I ain't going to say their defense was great. I don't think Ivica Zubats and James Harden were good enough. I didn't love them waving the white flag to start the fourth quarter. I understand it, but I didn't love it. Down 19. You know what I did like? Ty Washington coming in, and I know it was late game, and I know the game was over, but he played the entire fourth quarter, went 5 of 6 and 1 of 2 from the outside, had 11 points. I like what we've seen a little bit from Ty, who just got into the rotation for this team. I thought he was good in his first minutes against Toronto on Friday night. He hit a three-pointer. He just looked steady out there. I'm hoping, yes, even during garbage time, a young guy can earn some minutes. Why? Because they may not get minutes outside of garbage time to be able to earn more minutes. You have to show up in those minutes. That's all you get. Ty might be liked by Ty Lue with the way he has played, with the poise he has showed out there. Maybe there's something brewing, developing with Ty Washington. Yannick caught a huge lob and then blocked Kobe White in the fourth quarter. Was glad to see that. More just Yannick insane athleticism, explosiveness out there. Cam Christie gave it a go while he was dealing with some sore abs. Played 23 minutes, had 7 points. But yeah, if you get outshot by 15 from 3 on high volume, and their bench outscores you 59-39, and they have 34 fast break points to your 13, you're not going to win, and that's how you lose by 28. And the Clippers' main guys weren't good enough. And they didn't have their main guy in Kawhi. They didn't have Josh Giddey, though. So I think this was, I don't want to say a scheduled loss, but I can understand how this would happen at the end of the road trip with those late game emotional Clippers wins to start the road trip. I can see how this would happen. I don't like it. I don't accept it. They have to be better. They have to play much better against the Lakers on Thursday. Even though the Lakers haven't been playing good basketball, I know this. I know this well. But the Clippers can't afford to overlook anyone. It's another reminder of that. I don't think they were overlooking Chicago. Chicago just was looking past their perimeter defense and nailing every three. Burn the tape game? I don't know. Maybe. Can you learn much from that game? I don't know. The team hits 25 threes on you. Most threes in franchise history, the second most threes ever the Clippers have given up in a game. And the only game where they gave up more made three-pointers was that 176-175 loss to the Kings in double overtime where they hit 26 threes on the Clippers a couple of years ago in Russell Westbrook's first game back at Crypto. First game with the Clippers. Clippers are still 19-24. They did go 6-2 the last 8 games in 7 cities over 14 days. That can catch up to you. 8 games in 7 cities over 14 days, traveling 8,000 miles with injuries along the way. They're back home in Intuit Dome Thursday night against the Lakers. Tip off at 7, pregame show here at 6 outside of Los Angeles. We're leaving you until then. I do want to thank, before we get out of here, the Clippers organization, Ralph Lawler, Brian Seaman, Noah Eagle, Carlo Jimenez on the call. My brother Jake Warner. See you, I think, back at Intuit Dome Thursday night. Daniel West, our producer here in Burbank. Thank you, Daniel. The callers, the listeners, even the chatters. Love you all. I hope this was an entertaining post-game show, even with the Clippers taking a 28-point loss to the Bulls. Bounce back and beat the Lakers. That game's got a little something extra to it. You know how it is. Battle of Los Angeles. Talk to you guys at 6 Thursday night from Intuit Dome.